Welcome to Forex Daybreak, a daily podcast where we cover 8 Forex pairs and give you our view on the market direction for these pairs. If you are trading Forex market, this is the #1 show to start your trading day. Now, let's begin today's episode.
Good morning everybody and welcome to Forex Daybreak episode 19. In this daily Forex update, I will give you my view on 8 Forex pairs I analyze using Elliott wave principle. My name is Ville Vainio and today is 2nd of September 2015. This podcast is recorded also as video and is available from the members area at ForexDayBreak.com. Show note for this episode can be found at ForexDayBreak.com/19. Now let's get started. And first pair, like usually, is EURUSD, which has moved higher slightly. Yesterday was a up day for EURUSD. My wave count is putting this latest move up as minuet wave 4, and once this corrective phase is over, we should resume the decline for the last wave 5 to the downside before a larger correction can take place. Key levels on EURUSD at this point are immediate resistance on the upside is 113.3 and support area is around 112, which is quite a strong support area, and also near that critical level 112.13, which has broken and is giving a strong signal that this is indeed the start of a larger wave down and not just a correction on the way up. In my opinion, there's going to be one large wave down to complete this large bull market, which has been in force over a year and started near 140 levels back in early 2014. If this fourth wave correction has now ended, there's a good opportunity to enter short and trade the final wave down. My projected target is around 110 and 1. This would put the last fifth wave equal in length as a wave 1, but maybe slightly conservative target can be more wise here. So if we take the measurement of the first wave, it's 316 pips approximately, and put this to the estimated peak of fourth wave and take 316 pips, we get 110 and 1.5. So a good opportunity to enter a short trade here. I would look for good opportunity on lower time frame charts, maybe 30-minute charts, to look for 5-wave structure to the downside and then small pullback in 3 waves and entry point there. This would be a good opportunity to trade, and actually I'm going to enter a trade myself. So a sell order here and stop loss just over the peak of the correction, maybe slightly lower. I'm putting my stop loss at 113.224 approximately. So let's see how this goes for EURUSD. Next is dollar yen, which has moved slightly higher. A strong move to the upside. My wave count proposes that first 2 waves on the upside has completed, so that would make this a bullish move to the upside, a 5-wave structure, which in time will conclude this large bull market, which has been in force for many years now. Key levels on dollar yen are that next resistance is at 120.4, which was previous support level, is now acting as resistance. This is the previous wave W low, and support on the downside is 119.2. Those levels are ones to watch for. If this has completed the wave 2 correction, there should be a nice wave higher and a good trading opportunity also in dollar yen. I'm actually going to put the trade here, and the stop loss reverse order I'm going to put slightly lower and double the amount of the first order. So there, the stop loss reverse order is just below the low of the wave 2. Those ones who are watching the video can see that this is around 119.19. So that is the support level on the downside. I have marked on the charts. So more upside is expected at dollar yen. Next is pound dollar, which has continued lower. Did not stop for a correction like I was anticipating. So perhaps this is still the first wave of the third wave that we are now seeing. Quite a strong move downward has been the case in pound dollar for the recent days. Key levels on pound dollar, 15335 is the next upside resistance level, 1519 on the downside, next support. The wave divisions are still a bit unclear, but this strong decline is more or less the third wave, the start of the third wave down, and also a continuation of the larger downtrend on this pair. Pound has been quite weak in recent days. Most of the pound pairs have been bearish on British pound, and this is in line with the wave count here, which is proposing much more downside on pound dollar. I wouldn't necessarily trade this at this point, since it's unclear if we are now forming the second wave correction. There is a 3-wave decline, and slightly corrective looking price action has been on this pair for recent days, so I wouldn't trade this at this point. Next is euro pound, which has moved higher. This is in line with the wave count, which was expecting one more wave higher. We should see a new high forming here once this structure is complete. The price now 0.7363, and the recent high is 74205. 742 is the high. So beyond that, I'm expecting this to go, and I wouldn't trade this last leg anymore because there's quite limited upside on this. Yesterday I was talking about that there is probably a 100 pip trade here. So if you took that trade, you made some profits, because yesterday we were slightly lower than what we are now. But I'm still expecting more upside here and before the larger reversal, but I wouldn't enter any trades at this point. Key levels on Euro Pound are that 7315 is on the downside support level. This is the Friday's low, and 739 on the upside is the resistance. This might stall the upwards motion slightly, but I'm expecting new high slightly above the strong peak which was made last week. So 742 is the latest peak, so 745, 746 probably is the expected peak for this pair. Next is Euro Yen, which has moved slightly lower. The price action is still overlapping, and there is no good opportunities here in my opinion. Maybe this is on a fifth wave on the downside. Hard to say because there is quite strong moves at the start of this decline. But when we get a decent structure here, I'm going to label this more appropriately. At this point, it's hard to tell what is the correct wave structure. So I wouldn't trade this pair at the moment. I would first look for signs of a decent structure on a 4-hour chart to get a clear picture of the wave divisions, and then we can see if the larger decline has started and maybe look for a short trade here. Key levels on Euro Yen, 136.42 is the immediate resistance on the upside, 135 psychological level on the downside will act as support. So those levels are pretty much the same as before. Next is Pound Yen, and we have moved lower here, but the 3-wave structure is slightly suspect. The decline from the peak that I have labeled as wave 2 is in 3 waves, and this whole larger structure is forming a 3-wave structure. So all this recent decline from the peak of wave 2, which is at 189.95. The first decline is in 3 waves, so perhaps this is forming a larger wave 2, and we should see higher prices in this pair. Price now 183.8, and key levels on Pound Yen, 185 is the resistance on the upside. The downside is quite open, 182.42 is the next support level on the downside. This was the low yesterday, actually today. So those are the levels to watch for. The downside is quite open at this moment in Pound Yen, but we might get more upside if we are forming a correction. The 3-wave structure would propose that this is still a corrective phase we are in. So I wouldn't trade this at this point. I would look for more decent structure, and if this is indeed a larger downtrend, the start of larger downtrend, there will be good opportunities to trade this to the downside in the future. Okay, next is Euro Canadian. Here I have labeled first 4 waves of the structure to the downside. I'm expecting more downside on this pair. Price now 149.17, and if we have completed the 4th wave correction, next we should see a decline to the downside, perhaps towards 145 levels. Key levels on Euro Canadian are 150 is the resistance on the upside, 146 is the support on the downside, and once we get a decent 5-wave structure out of this decline, we can be more certain that the larger reversal has happened in this pair, and the future looks quite promising on a trading perspective. We can expect good opportunities to the downside. I wouldn't necessarily enter right now since there's going to be a one wave down and then a larger correction. So I would stand aside for a while in this pair, look for this 5-way structure to complete and then the larger correction, and then look for a good opportunity to trade. I will of course be on top of this pair, analyzing it every day. So let's see how this develops on the downside. If we are going to get a decent 5-way structure, and then we can be much more certain than that this is indeed a start of a larger decline. Okay, finally is US dollar Canadian. The correction here is still in force. The price action is overlapping here and we have moved higher since yesterday. The price now 132.4 and I'm still expecting a decline towards 128.6 levels, but hasn't really been a strong decline at this point. Yesterday we got a quite nice strong decline. It was day before yesterday, Monday night, we got a strong decline, but now has recovered almost everything. Key levels on US dollar Canadian are that next downside support is around 130.212. This is the previous third wave low, and on the upside a recent high. Actually there's one before that, 133.25 on the upside. The latest peak would act as resistance level. Okay, that's it for today's episode. Visit the show notes page at ForexDayBreak.com/19 and you can leave your comments on that page. Remember that this podcast is recorded also as video and is available from the members area at ForexDayBreak.com. Two other features you find there are my Elliott Wave Ninja trading system and my mentoring program, so go and check out those. All of these are included in the subscription plan at ForexDayBreak.com. I have a 5-day trial for you to see what is inside. Okay, thanks for listening to my show. Now go make some profits and I will see you tomorrow. Bye bye.
Thanks for your interest in Forex Daybreak Daily Podcast. If you like this show, we hope you'll visit our website, www.ForexDayBreak.com, and tell your friends about us. Be sure to check the show notes on our website for this episode. Join us next time for another episode of Forex Daybreak.